Family Chiropractic, and I wanted to get on today to share how stress, especially toxic stress, can alter or delay proper neurological development. So I was on the phone with a mom today, and her couple-month-old baby was already starting to experience some challenges. And working our way through the history, there was a certain set of stressors that happened before birth and then actually at birth that got the baby's nervous system stuck in this sympathetic fight or flight stressed out mode. And I wanted to create a visual of how that stress all the way at birth can affect months and also years to come with proper neurological development as well. So right here we have a visual, and the way that it's set up is that we have prenatal years and we have pregnancy years here. We have that first year of life, and then we have going after that first years of life, years here leading into our teenage years here. So the way that it's set up and the way that the brain is kind of built is from the bottom up. So it has certain windows of opportunity, so to say, where it has these windows of opportunity to make these strong connections so that it can lay a lot of groundwork for proper neurological development or skills to happen later on down the road. So the very first thing that forms is our sensory pathways. So the reason why this is vitally important, especially with babies, is that that our brain, it develops through experiences and how it interacts with the world. So, primarily that's through visual input, auditory input, tactile input, and then also proprioceptive input as well. So this right here, right at birth, we see like millions and millions and millions of connections made through our sensory pathways to happen right at birth. And what this does is that it lays the groundwork for language to develop a couple months later on. And then with these two here, with a strong foundation, it allows for proper development of higher executive function later on down the road during school age years. That's, focus, attention, and then also emotional regulation as well. So up here you can see how stress has been shown through research to actually diminish and also weaken these neurological connections made at certain windows of neurological development. So here we see how stress, it actually alters perception. So also it actually alters input, which alters function, which is input equals output. So any type of altered input will equal altered output as well, which will later lead on to altered neurological development. So if you take stress, and like I said, with a common theme that we see here, a lot of the stress happens before birth or with the first few years of life. So if you take stress at birth, so mom stress equals baby stress. And then if you take stress at birth, whether that's, NICU stays, vacuum extraction, any type of intervention, C-section, forceps delivery, all that stress here will actually take this line of millions and millions of connections, and any type of stress locked into the nervous system will take this line and dampen it down right there. So anything, especially stress, that alters this input or the sensory pathways or connections, and will also later on affect skills that develop later on down the road. So like I said, the brain is built from the bottom up. So anything that affects that foundation will affect later on down the road as well. So this toxic stress that is experienced at birth can sometimes start to show up in language development, and then also higher executive function with focus, attention, and emotional regulation as well. So the great thing about this and how it plays into chiropractic is that with chiropractors, especially our office as well, we have the technology and the scans to determine how much stress that your baby and or your child is exposed to, and how well it is adapting to stress as well. So what we really advocate for, especially at birth, is the first thing that you can do as a parent is get that baby or that child checked to see whether or not it needs adjusted. Because if we can offset this stressful input with more calming input and have a more balanced nervous system all the way at the beginning, it can later on optimize that proper neurological development instead of having the stress kind of wound in their nervous system and kind of dampening down that potential and those connections made for proper neurological development. So if you're a parent, or if you know someone who is a parent who has a child that has language challenges, sensory challenges, emotional regulation, focus and attention challenges, the main culprit behind that may be stress. So if you're watching this, I invite you guys to get you or your child scanned to see how much stress is wound up in their nervous system and how well they're adapting to it. And if you're wondering how chiropractic can help offset the stress and also help with some of these neurological challenges, I invite you to comment below or message us, and we'd be happy to help and answer any questions that you guys may have. So thank you for watching this, and I hope all of you have a great day.